So you had this big shootout. You had this big shootout that happened in South Dakota. You had this big shootout that happened in South Dakota, and you're going to see 2 FBI agents that's going to be killed, and then you're also going to see a Native American who is killed. Joseph Stunts is going to be killed in Ronald and Jack. So Ronald and Jack are the FBI agents, and then you had an FBI sniper that killed Joseph Stunts. So Joseph Stunts is a Native American who is dead, and nobody got charged with that crime. Nobody got charged with murdering Joseph Stunts. Thou should not murder, right? So if thou should not murder, we'll put up that agent on a jury trial and see if a jury of his peers would convict him. Leonard Peltier just got commuted. He just got commuted to indefinite house arrest. Biden had done it just one day before he left office, which is incredible. I had tweeted to Obama if he had seen the movie Thunderheart. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But Leonard Peltier finally gets to go home, which, you know, big fucking deal, to be honest with you. So he's dying. He's got health problems. He's dying. He's got health problems. So they're going to let him spend 2 months in his house under house arrest before he fucking dies. Meanwhile, you had the Blackwater guys in Iraq that was just fucking killing random ass people. They got pardoned. They got pardoned. So it's all right for Donald to go ahead and just let outright murderers of innocent people fucking go. And then if you're going to allow mercenaries, a bunch of private corporations, to shoot anybody and everybody, what the fuck are we doing? The Empire, we got 1,000 military bases all over the place. So we're just killing anybody in Cameroon. We're just killing anybody in Niger. Does anybody give a shit? How does this help us as the American people? How does that help us going around to countries and just killing a bunch of innocent people? It doesn't fucking help us. It makes us look like a bunch of fucking murderous, bloodthirsty fucking assholes who's not being held to account anywhere. So the hypocrisy is bullshit. I want to talk about some of the details of the Leonard Peltier case, because Leonard Peltier didn't kill anybody. Leonard Peltier didn't murder anybody. Leonard Peltier didn't order anybody to shoot. Actually, I saw a very specific video where he said that he had shot, towards them up in the air, but he knew that he didn't shoot any of them. They weren't out of the car. They didn't drop. So he was a part of the shootout. He was there. In fact, I had heard that the way I understand the story was that the Chevy Carryall, the white and orange SUV that Leonard Peltier was driving, well, it pulls into the Jumping Bull Ranch first. Why? Because he's being stalked by 2 white trash fucking stalkers, some weird ass unmarked fucking vehicles. Just had 2 Caucasians that was stalking him. Well, who are these Caucasians? Why are they on the reservation? I thought the Native American reservation is a nation within a nation. So that means that's their own country. That's a 2-state solution. The only evidence they had was 2 bullets. They found a .223 and a .22. Oh shit, you found a .22? Well, fucking case closed. You found the most common goddamn bullet on the fucking planet. A nice tiny little fucking most common bullet on the planet. Must be Leonard fucking Peltier, huh? Oh, you found a .22? Must be Leonard fucking Peltier. Peltier. The case is just riddled with a bunch of fucking bullshit. So he's at the shootout, right? Joseph Stunts gets murdered and killed. How come nobody gets charged with that murder? The reason why the FBI agents were on the reservation in South Dakota, which is the same reservation where you had the Wounded Knee Massacre. So you had 90 Lakota natives that were just murdered in South Dakota. Wounded Knee. There was like a first Wounded Knee and a second Wounded Knee. So it's the same reservation as the Wounded Knee Massacre. He's being stalked by 2 white trash stalkers. Don't know who it is. Shot a couple warning shots to get them to back off. They don't back off. And then Robert Robidoux is going to admit that he shot him. So Robert Robidoux is the one that killed the 2 FBI agents. He said he shot them dead like worms. He admitted to it. Robert Robidoux admitted to it, but I want to say he beat the charges or beat the case. There was 2 other people that had been put on trial, and the jury acquitted him. And then they're going to get Leonard Peltier. They're going to get the indictment out of Canada. And then they're going to push for the conviction. So Leonard Peltier didn't tell anybody to kill the two guys. And he didn't murder anybody. He didn't shoot him. He didn't pull the trigger. And the bullets didn't go through their bodies. He did not cause the death of Ronald nor Jack. But an FBI sniper killed Joseph Stunts. An FBI sniper murdered Joseph Stunts. Just like they killed Fred Hampton while he was sleeping. The whole point of why the FBI was there, they were looking for Jimmy Eagle. What happened with Jimmy Eagle? They said that he stole some boots. They're going to dismiss the charges. So Jimmy Eagle's going to have charges that are dismissed. It says here that Robert Robidoux, his charges are dismissed. This North Dakota Fargo trial is an absolute farce. It's total bullshit. There's so many fucking, oh my God. Let's get into it. Let's get into the thick of it. All right, so you got Myrtle Poorbear, right? You got to get the, the extradition. So in order to get the extradition, you got to manufacture some evidence because you don't have any evidence. All you got is a little 22 bullet. Why do you say Leonard Peltier did it? Because of this right here. What is that? Well, it's a 22 casing. Well, shit. Must be fucking Leonard Peltier. Myrtle Poorbear is a Native American that the FBI coerced. They threatened her. They said they're going to put her and her children through the meat grinder. I want to say that's the literal words. Because what they do next is just so beyond the pale. In order to get Myrtle Poorbear to make a statement against Leonard Peltier, a person she's never even met, she never even saw him until she went into court. Oh, that's the guy that her statement is contradicting. The way the FBI got Myrtle Poorbear to write down a false statement was they threatened her with some cut off hands from a dead body. So they had a dead body. There was a reign of terror. You had the Goon Squad. You had AIM, the Goon Squad. You had BIA. So you got, the federal government's all over this place, and there's like this, they call it like a civil war between the Goons and the AIM, the traditionalists versus the corrupt modernist. So they took a dead body. They had the hands of the dead body. They bring the hands into the interrogation or whatever when they're talking to Myrtle Poorbear, and they said, do you want this shit to happen? Is this you? Did you do it? They pulled out some dead hands and they scared a poor peasant Native American woman that was confused, didn't know what the hell's going on. She's missing teeth. I think she's dead now. So they coerced a poor peasant Native American woman to give a false statement, and they used that false statement as a way to extradite Leonard Peltier when it came to the trial in Fargo, North Dakota. You think they asked her to testify? Oh no, they didn't even get her to testify. The Sixth Amendment says you have a right to compel witnesses and evidence on your behalf. They wanted Myrtle Poorbear to testify. They also wanted somebody else, Jimmy Eagle, to testify. A lot of these people are dead. This happened in 1975. The shootout happened June 26, 1975 on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of life imprisonment. He was eligible for parole in 93, but he's not going to get commuted until January 19, 2025. Hey! Hey! Every time I try to do something, they want to fucking ruin my fucking shot. You've already been fed. You already got water. It's fucking freezing cold. You're not even in a cage. You're running free in a fucking room. It's bullshit, man. I'm going to talk for about 5 more minutes. Can I fucking talk? Is that okay with you? This is injustice. They threw an innocent man away, man. If I found a fucking empty casing and I said that you fucking did it, does that mean I get to throw your life away for 50 fucking years? Why? Because the fucking killers, they got off. the fucking jury didn't goddamn convict the actual fucking killer, Robert Robidoux. Robert Robidoux gets to fucking walk, and so now you don't have any convictions, right? So you're just going to pick up anybody. It doesn't fucking matter who gives a shit about good and evil. Who cares about right and wrong? Who cares about truth and justice? We're going to take a lie and we're going to push injustice. You think that's okay? That's not okay. The judge is Paul Benson. He's a Nixon appointee. Nixon didn't give a shit about the My Lai massacre. What My Lai massacre? Who cares about killing women and children in Iraq and Palestine and Vietnam and South Dakota? Who gives a shit about brown bodies? Nobody gives a shit. So Paul Benson isn't going to call up Jimmy Eagle, Myrtle Pourbaix to testify. That breaks the Sixth Amendment. Nelson Mandela called for Leonard Peltier's release. Paul Benson wouldn't read the witness testimonies to the jury. The jury's like, hey, we forgot what they testified. Can we at least get some transcripts? Can you read the witness testimony to us? Paul Benson, the fucking federal judge, Mr. Fair and Square, talk about weaponizing the judicial branch against your political opponents. Mr. Balanced and even-handed, the best thing you can say about a judge is that they're fair and square. He was a fucking cheater. He wouldn't let the jury look through the scope of the gun. He wouldn't read the witness testimonies back to the jury later on. And then Myrtle Pourbaix and Jimmy Eagle, he wouldn't allow them to be called up to the stand to testify. His entire extradition was because of Myrtle Pourbaix. Because of what the FBI did to Myrtle Pourbaix, they probably didn't want her to testify to what they fucking did to her. The scope of the gun, they said the shooting was a half a mile away, and so what the defense wanted to do is for the jury to look through the scope to see if they could recognize the face of somebody a half a mile away. Because there was a guy that said that they had recognized Leonard Peltier through the scope. Oh, could you? Why were you looking through a scope? Were you sniping people? Did you snipe Joseph Stunts? Hey, FBI, you know you killed Fred Hampton, right? You were on the scene when MLK got shot. You had a bunch of informants when Malcolm X got shot. So we know you killed Fred Hampton in his sleep. And we know an FBI sniper killed Joseph Stunts. Was it the same one that testified at the damn trial? You know the FBI, they take meticulous notes. You know they fucking know who killed Joseph Stunts. You know they fucking know who killed Joseph Stunts. So they act like they're getting justice for Ronald and Jack by going after a person that didn't kill them? That doesn't make any sense. And if you cared about truth and justice, what about Joseph Stunts? Does Joseph Stunts' life not fucking matter? Just 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead? So Robert Robidoux is the one that shot and killed Ronald and Jack. He had admitted to it. His charges were dismissed. He's already dead. Jimmy Eagle is dead. Myrtle Pourbaix is dead. A lot of these people are already dead and gone because this happened in 1975. It's already 2025, nearly 50 fucking years. 50 fucking years later. Leonard Peltier didn't murder anybody, nor did he give the order. In fact, ballistic testing by the FBI proves that the 223 was not Leonard's bullet. And the 22 is the most common bullet in the world. No fingerprints, no videotape, no photographs. Jimmy Eagle didn't even get arrested. Later on, his charges are going to be dismissed. So then what the fuck were the FBI even doing there in the first place? Just stalking the shit out of Leonard Peltier in his Chevy carry-all white and orange SUV like a bunch of creepy fucks. Oh, that's probably just the law enforcers. Probably the federal fucking cops who's not even supposed to be on the reservation anyways. Why would you presume that? You're being stalked by some random-ass car. They keep tailing you and tailing you. There's following too closely, and then there's harassing, and then there's stalking. They were guilty of stalking. They were guilty of harassing. Maybe even tailgating. The truth is eternal. The truth is forever. It's permanent and perpetual. Who shot Ronald and Jack was the people that shot Ronald and Jack, the person or persons. Who shot Joseph Stunts? It was the person that killed Joseph Stunts. We're just supposed to arrest any old FBI agent and then just put him through the ringer? Jail him for 50 years? We know it wasn't you, but we know that you were involved. You were a part of it somehow, some way. So you don't get the guy that actually killed the guy, but as long as you just get somebody that's justice, why would the system uphold such a dumbass fucking thing like that? If you're going to uphold some bullshit, it's like, is this system working at all? You just want to fucking nab somebody? You just want to hurt somebody? You just want to fuck somebody over? So 9/11 happened in Saudi Arabia, and then we fucking killed 1 million Iraqis because of what Saudi Arabia did? How's that justice? Saudi Arabia attacks us, and then we invaded Afghanistan and invaded Iraq. For what Saudi Arabia did? The fuck sense does that make? It's not justice. We didn't care about the truth, right? Iraqis got the WMDs. How many times are we going to be lied into war? What was it, Vietnam War? You got the Gulf of Tonkin, right? Oh, they attacked us at the Gulf of Tonkin. Well, they didn't attack us. The USS Maine was bombed by the Spanish, right, for the Spanish-American War. Remember the Maine. Remember how we had bombs on the ship and we blew ourselves up and then blamed it on them. In that operation, is that Mockingbird or some other thing where the Kennedys suggested to go after Cuba by bombing our own city and then blaming it on them? The truth is immutable, immovable. Justice, the truth and justice is on the side of the oppressed and the exploited. The truth is not flexible. There is no your truth, my truth, his truth. The truth is categorical. The truth is adamantine. It's chiseled in stone. It's made of diamonds. The truth is forever. Jumping Bull's house is going to get shot up. 100 bullet holes are going into Jumping Bull's house. They're making a big deal about 100 bullet holes in the unmarked FBI car. But what about the 100 bullet holes in Jumping Bull's house? Norman Charles is a part of all this somehow. Who is Norman Charles? So this isn't the, we've seen what? 4 million Vietnamese killed, 1 million Iraqis were killed, 700 Pequot were killed in the Mystic River Massacre in Connecticut, 90 Lakota were killed or wounded no, they were killed. 90 Lakota natives were killed in Wounded Knee. Even Abraham Lincoln had hung 37 Sioux. And then 500 natives were killed in the Sand Creek Massacre of Colorado. So we're killing natives. We're killing brown-skinned people in Palestine, killing brown-skinned people in Iraq, killing brown-skinned people in Connecticut, South Dakota, Colorado. Hell, there's 10 to 100 million Native Americans. Where did they go? The Native American genocide and slavery are America's two original sins. Nobody went to jail. Nobody was arrested. Did anybody even get their wrists slapped for killing Joseph Stunts? And then again, this breaks the Sixth Amendment. Let's read the Sixth Amendment off to finish this off. The Sixth Amendment, the relevant part, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused have a right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury, ... to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have assistance of counsel. So the confrontation clause is that the witnesses have to go into court and say, it was Leonard that did it. And then there's a cross-examination of those witnesses. So his defense gets to confront the witnesses against him, and plus there's compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor. So either the witnesses that were at the scene, witnesses that have relevant, pertinent information, or witnesses that hold on to some evidence. Myrtle Poorbear, Jimmy Eagle, they weren't called to the stand. Paul Benson, the judge, nominated by Nixon, also wouldn't allow self-defense instructions. He's got a right to defend himself. But Paul Benson didn't want the jury to know that. Paul Benson didn't want to know what the jury to know what Jimmy Eagle and Myrtle Poorbear knew. Paul Benson didn't give a damn that the jury didn't remember what the witness testimony was even about. He's not going to reread the witness testimonies to the jury. He's not going to refresh their memories. Did they even have a transcript? Isn't this all recorded on audio? He was a fucking cheater. He wouldn't even let the jury look through the scope of the gun either. The fucking trial's riddled with a bunch of fucking inconsistencies and bullshit. Just cheating bastards. They didn't get the guy that actually fucking killed him, so they pinned it on Leonard Peltier and they made him pay for it. An innocent man that didn't kill anybody. Meanwhile, those who did kill Ronald and Jack and Joseph Stunts are walking around free as a bird, free as a jaybird, free as a cardinal, and a jaybird and a crow. Just free as a bird. How's that justice? Shouldn't the people that murder people, shouldn't they be in jail? And the innocent, shouldn't they get to go home? Huh?